going to do is open up our hips a little bit. I'm going to have a soft left knee. I'm going to bring my right knee up as high as I can, opening it, trying to keep my other hip facing you, bringing it down. I get a little bit of cracking there, right? I'm going to bring it back up. My toes still facing out to the right. I'm going to bring it back up, complete that circle back in, right? Soft left knee, elevate right, open that baby up, bring it down, bring it back up and around, right? Now let's try other leg. Soft knee, up on the left, open, down, toes pointing out, bring it back up, bring it around, right? Mobilizing that hip joint. That hip joint gets a lot of frontal work back and forth like this, but it doesn't get a lot of this, right? We're going to try to get 5 repetitions on each leg. Go back to my right, open, drop it through, pull it back, bring it around to the center, right? Just warming up those hips, feel a little bit of heat in them, taking them through their greater range of motion. Good. And we get a little bit of balance training there that we didn't really realize we were going to get into. Perfect. All right, let's go for those shoulders for a second, right? We've done shoulder rolls before. Bringing my shoulders up to my ears, pulling my shoulder blades back and down. Kind of exaggerating that roll, right? Not just like this. Real big, exaggerated rolls. Should feel really good. I'm trying to keep my arms straight to keep tension on that shoulder joint. All right, let's go a little bit of blood flow in the arms. I'm going to go crossbody, open, close, right? Feeling that across my pecs, into my shoulder blades. Once again, just warming up the body, should not feel bad. Good. We're going to go for a little bit of balance. We're going to do a single leg RDL, which is going to really mobilize the hip, activate the knee, warm up the hamstring and glute, and test our balance, right? Okay, so I'm going to stand at an angle, soft knee, just so you can see both sides of me. Trying to keep my hips straight at the floor. I'm not going to let my right hip twist out as I go down. So let me demonstrate for you. Hinging at the hip, keeping the back straight, coming all the way down, and then squeezing my butt to bring me back up, right? Soft left knee, hinge, squeeze the glute, come up. Let's go for 5 on each leg. Right, should feel just warm, right? Hamstring, glute, a little bit of hip. You're definitely using your feet. I hope you're both barefoot. That makes a big difference. Soft left knee, right? Hinge, squeeze the glute, drive that floor away. Soft right knee, hinge, squeeze my glute, drive that hip away. Remember, you'll have better balance if the knee is soft. If you're doing it with a locked out knee, it's going to be a lot more challenging. Good. Let's go into an inch to world's greatest stretch. Well, 2 of my favorites. So I'm going to show you from a lateral view here. I'm going to show you first the inchworm, right? I'm going to keep my knees slightly soft, but the goal is to keep them extended to feel that stretch, right? Hinging at my hips, hands go down on my floor. I'm going to walk myself out into a high plank, right? This is that high plank. I'm going to take my left foot, drive it up next to my left hand, drop that right knee down, take the elbow of the left arm, reach towards the ground, and then rotate up and open. Hand goes back down, right knee comes up, left foot goes back, right foot goes up, left knee goes down, right elbow reaches towards that ground, and rotate and open. Should feel really good. Hand goes down, knee comes up, foot goes back. We slowly walk ourselves out of that movement. And then a nice, easy roll up at the top. Should feel good. We're going to do it 3 more times because I know that's complicated. Okay, so soft knee, hinge, hands down, walking out into that strong high plank. Left leg comes up next to left hand. Right knee goes down. Left elbow in. Rotate at that sky. Getting that good groin, back, shoulder stretch, right? Taking some air. Hand back down. Knee up. Knee down. Elbow in. Rotating. Take a couple deep breaths there. Hand goes back down, knee up, foot back, walk it out. Right, should feel really good. I did 2 of them. You might have gotten in more if you were moving. Okay, so wall pat down stretch. I'm going to use my fireplace. You're more than welcome to use something that's about chest height, like a fireplace or I don't know what else would be that height though. So probably a wall is your best bet. I'm going to go my hands high. So hands up high on the wall, like you're going to get pat down, right? Last time you got arrested. You're going to take your feet a little bit outside of my shoulders. I'm going to bend my knee and then drive my head down through the hole, right? Stretching out my lumbar, my shoulders, my lats, my pecs. I'm going to come back up, and on the second go, I'm going to tuck my right hand behind my back and isolate that left side. Breathing. Come back up. Right hand goes back on the wall, left hand goes behind my lower back. Getting that good stretch all through the shoulders, which is a natural place to be tight in our society. Okay, let's go for those legs. We're gonna go super wide, right? As wide as you can get, keeping your legs straight, and as wide as you can get without falling over. We're gonna do something called a Kozak Squat with a little bit of extra support. So a Kozak Squat is a lateral lunge, right? But my right foot, see how my right foot's gonna be up like that? That's really important. So my right toe's up, nice and wide. I'm gonna sit back into my left hip and reach towards the ground. Now, this position might be like, okay, I'm stuck, I can't get any further, or you're able to drop back into that hip a little bit more, like myself, but getting out of this would be difficult for me, right? So that's why my hands are below me, so I can push myself up, right? Transition, right foot down, left toe up, sitting down into my right side now, hands on the ground to support, getting that good groin stretch, right? Feeling it all through here, up into my hip, especially on the leg that's bent over here. I'm gonna push up with my hands again. Transition, we're gonna go back and forth for 3 times, right? Remember, everyone's depth's gonna be different. If you're here and you're getting a good stretch, that's fine. You don't have to end down here. Whatever works for your body and feels good and not like we're breaking something, right? Pushing off my hands, coming back, and down again. Obviously, also very good mobility for the knee and hip on the bent knees on the seated into side. Perfect. Hopefully you got a few of those. We're gonna go into a deadlift, which is for knee stability. Wake up your hips a little bit, wake up your back. So we're gonna have our arms pinned straight in front of us, okay? I'm gonna have my feet slightly outside of my hips. I'm gonna spread my toes and grip the ground, like they're my hands, right? Gripping that ground. I'm pushing my elbows straight. I'm gonna inhale as I drop down, trying to touch my hands to the ground, and then squeeze my butt, pushing off, walking out of the top. Let me show you from a lateral view. Once again, spread my toes, grip the ground, inhale, squeeze my glutes, exhale. Inhale, squeeze my glutes, exhale, right? So I'm getting some really good mobility in my lumbar, my hips, my quads. I'm also just getting some good blood flow. Let's try, see if we can get 10 of those. Right, gripping the ground, inhale down, exhale up. And it's okay if you, once again, don't have the mobility to touch the ground. Right, if you're here and you're getting it, that's fine. Over time, you do stuff like that, you'll loosen up your hips and be able to get lower into that squat. Okay, speaking of hips, let's do one more hip stretch. We're gonna be in a half kneel position, right? Right knees down, left knees up. We've done this one. We're going to first squeeze our right butt cheek, leaning into our left leg. Let me show you an angle. There we go. So I'm squeezing my glute, leaning in. I'm gonna reach towards that sky with the leg's arm that's down, all right? So I'm getting that real good stretch all across the right side of my body. Breathing through the movement, right? With this right leg still down, let's now twist our left leg out so my toes are pointed that way, right? Away from me, not in front of me. I'm now gonna lean laterally into that groin. Mobilizing my ankle, my knee, as you see my knee go over my toe, right? And getting that good stretch around my groin. Good, let's go ahead and switch legs. So now we're gonna do that first stretch, right? Left glute is on, pushing into that right knee a little bit. feeling that stretch down the front of my groin, in my hip. I'm gonna reach up at that sky, and that's when I'm gonna feel that real good extension through here. Breathing, right? Breathing is essential. Good. Let's go same thing, right? Now my right toes are gonna face laterally, and I'm gonna lean into that right groin. Okay, I went off camera a little bit. Lean into that right groin. Should feel real good, no pain, right? Limit your range of motion if you're having any pain. We don't need that. All right, now we're gonna go into that back, right? I know we're gonna appreciate it's a good back stretch. So I'm gonna sit with my left leg, knee in front of me, foot's kind of on the right side of my hip. I'm gonna take that left leg up and over, hug it, right? Like we used to when we were little kids sitting in a circle, right? Hug it. Now I'm gonna take my right hand, place it behind my body so I can use it as resistance. So now I'm gonna try to look to my right as far as I can. Like I'm trying to look at my fireplace, right? You're gonna pull on that left leg and rotate. Let me show you a different view. All right, hugging, reaching, and twisting. Should feel really good all up and down the hip of that bent leg, right? So I'm getting all up through here. I'm getting in here when I twist, right? Let's go ahead and switch sides. So now, right leg's up and over. I'm gonna hug that right knee, and I'm gonna twist as much as I can to my left. Sorry, that was my left knee I'm hugging. Breathing, right? Trying to create that rotation in my spine. Should feel good, not bad, right? All right, let's go down onto our back. We're gonna get 2 more stretches. We're gonna do our hamstrings, and we're gonna do a little bit of core activation. All right, so when I'm laying on the ground, my pelvis is down flat, right? You can't get your hands under my back. I'm gonna elevate my right leg. I'm gonna cradle it with my left hand, right? So I'm kind of getting resistance pushing into my hands. I'm going to flex that quad so my leg is as straight as it can, and then I'm gonna make big, slow circles. We've done this before, people, right? This is getting that nice flossing down the back of my leg. The tension is important, right? The tension on the quad. You want to feel that resistance. So you're not only getting a hamstring stretch, but you're feeling your ankle, your calf, right? Should feel real good the whole time my lumbar is on the ground. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Cradle, point that toe. Big, slow circles with that foot, feeling that unique pull of different ligaments and nerves as you make those rotations, right? As big as you can. Awesome. All right, we're going to do one of my favorite breathing drills to finish up. We're going to be on all fours. I'm going to round my pelvis under. See how now you're seeing my little bit of round in my back? Right? I'm going to lean over my fingertips. When you lean over your fingertips, you should feel your obliques, the side of your abdominals, bracing for you. Right? The further I lean, the more they're bracing. We don't have to be drastic, but if you need to feel it, go ahead and be drastic so you can feel it, make that neuromuscular connection, and then come back to a manageable position, right? I'm pushing firmly through my hands the whole time. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale through our nose, 3 count, exhale through our mouth, 6 count. Remember with the breathing drills, we're trying to get all the oxygen out of the body. I want you to repeat that for 3 more breaths. I'm going to talk a little bit. So when you're doing that, right, you're feeling your abs deflate, almost like a balloon, right, to the point where you don't have any oxygen left to give. That's what's going to activate our pelvic floor. That's what's going to activate our diaphragm, right? Make that body starve for that air at the end. If you can, and this is something you enjoy doing, work on the pause. So inhale nose, exhale mouth, at that end, right, where all that oxygen's out of your body, take a pause. You feel that decompression of those ribs, right? Everything's tight, tight, tight. Pause, repeat, inhale, right? Should feel really good, really gets that blood flow going. Thanks for joining me, you guys.